Hey, what's going on, Destiny Knights? Name is Easy the Gamer. Welcome back to another D6 video! What's different about this? My hair is going crazy. I know, I'm so late. I'm so late on this. I need to record it, freaking upload it. I'm the last one on the train on this. Global release has happened. We are here. Everybody's new. Everything, like, from the bottom up. So you know what? This is the guide to being a pro. Just kidding. This is basically, I've never actually made a video like this. Me personally, I wanted to make one where what I've learned so far, but global release is the perfect timing to do this. So in case you do not know me, my name, like I said, is Easy the Gamer. I've been recording Destiny 6 videos, which is what it was called before, Destiny Knights now. For about 8 months now, and I've been loving this game, and finally it has done a global release. So let's go ahead and just talk about it. Okay, first things first, what I want to talk about is rubies. Rubies. Okay, the way you get rubies in this game is they're fairly generous when it comes to rubies. Okay, so especially if you're starting now, the beginners camp, like I got, like, you get 700 for sending 1 point, 1 friendship point. You just make friends. Go out and make friends. You'll get it. Participate in arena once. Basically, you have these daily missions you have to do every day. You do these every day. Like do normal dungeon, do awakening dungeon once. You click go and it'll tell you to go. I haven't done them yet because I've been busy all day. But once you finish all of them, you get rubies, which is 300 rubies. You complete all these, you will complete the beginners event. But because if y'all are new, it is going to be fairly hard to do this. Just go ahead and just go with the flow. You will be able to do this fairly easy. Speaking of rubies, do these missions. They're fairly easy. I know I'm trying to speak quickly. I shouldn't be, but these are not fairly easy. I mean, I think, okay, that's chapter 15. No wonder I was like, hell. Okay, normal. So you get to you basically just click on go and it will take you there, and then you complete the mission. You get 1,000 apiece, and eventually it goes up to 1,200, I believe. There it is. It's after chapter 10. The thing is that y'all, if y'all are just coming to the game, y'all are actually really lucky. These crystals gem rubies. Too many gacha games. These rubies used to be only 500 a piece. So now that you get 1,200, it really racks up. So what do you do with these rubies, you ask? You can go and oh look, they actually changed the banner for him. They only put freaking the rock one. Anyways, here you can spend rubies on getting these Nat 5 characters. These are not very good, but if you are starting on the game, any Nat 5 will help you through the game. Rock Julian, actually, what's it called? Rock Julian is a really good damage dealer. So if you do get him, he's really good. Scissors is not up there, but he will it will help you through the map, through the scenario map. Now, elemental disadvantage and advantage. In this game, it is all about damage decrease and increase. It is not about, oh, it might not crit, it might not whatever. No, it's depending on how much damage you do. So if it's the same element, so it's rock, paper, scissors, right? Rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, and paper beats rock, right? It says it in the little intro. But depending on, so let's say you have a paper monster or hero, right? You have a paper hero going up against scissors. She's going to do 30% less damage, as unlike I think it's 30%. Or you do unless you have an advantage, you do like a certain percentage more damage than you would do another one, and vice versa. If they have more advantage on you, if they have elemental advantage on you, they will do more damage to you. So it is smart to change your leader skills when you do scenarios. If it says like disadvantage right there, go ahead and try to find a leader skill where you have either the advantage or the equal type, so you won't take as much damage. Okay. Now going back to the subject of rubies. Rubies one mistake I did do, and I was, like I said, like before this video, I was going to do a video on what to spend your rubies on. Rubies, like I said, they come fairly quickly, especially if you're early game, but once you go to late game, this starts to slow down a lot. So summon while you can. They're doing an event here where you get a nat 5 when you first summon, so it's not, so you are going to get a nat 5 regardless, with all these rubies that you're getting. But do not spend them all on heroes. What heroes do you look for when when do you know when to stop? Is the next question, really, when it comes to ruby summon. Okay, the heroes right here that are really overpowered that you want to look for is this girl right here, Scissor. Oh, she's probably the best overpowered character you will get in this game. There's no way, like, there's no one else that competes with her because she does everything. Essentially, if you are newer to the game, it will be kind of confusing what she does, but basically, if you know what a stun is, she practically stuns them for about, like, it isn't a stun, it's a charging. Basically, it has them, it sucks, it's like a vacuum, it sucks them in, right, and it will do that for about 5 or 6 times or something like that, plus they leave a damage increase debuff, which is really overpowered. She does damage based off of HP, so she's a tank. Second off, she's already doing she has a debuff that makes you do more damage while you do that. And on top of that, she has a cleanse and heal every, like, when she uses this ability. So yes, if you get her, she's really overpowered. The next one on the list, June. Rock June, if you get him early game just like I did, you are extremely lucky. This guy actually does insane damage and reduces cool time on anybody on your team, and it stacks as well. So when I say stacks, it means like you can use it multiple times, not just once, like some skills. So this skill does extremely big damage. It ignores defense and does damage according to the enemy's current HP. It is not max HP, so it will not always do insane damage. So if he has like a little bit of health left, he'll probably just barely move it. Unlike sometimes when they have like their full bar left, it will just bring it all the way down. So that is that's him. Rock Benito. Rock Benito is one of the, if you want to do fast clears, this guy is for you. He will give you attack speed, and on top of that, like, I know if you're new, you're like, what the heck is all this? Basically, I'm just running down what the good heroes are if you do summon them. So Rock Benito, one of the best speed runners in the game. Okay, if you do get him, you're lucky. You're already halfway there. So look at that. He's at 99% best. And it will show you here statistics where he's usually used, and what orbs and crests. So it will help you guide. It will help guide you where you want to go with it. Okay. Next one would be, let's take a look. This guy. This guy has to be one of the most annoying heroes you will face in history. Reason being is because this shield. This shield practically you can't get, if once he puts this shield up, no debuffs, no damage taken to him. And then on top of that, if he's paired up with somebody who reduces cooldown, he will always have this shield up. So it's a very annoying shield, and especially since if you don't have a good stripper, he resists it, you're practically done. So this guy makes your runs a lot safer if you're trying to do let's say scenario bosses or something like that, to do a big nuke. That shield right there is invulnerable. They're not going to be able to pop it. So that right there, boom, right. Next one, speaking of skill cooldown, there is actually a specific hero that does that. Scissors Carletta. This skill is absolutely the best. She will reduce cooldown of all your skills besides herself, besides that one skill. So she will be continuous. So she's one of the one paired with the Paper Adonis, just so he can have that shield up like constantly. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about, let's see who the next one is. There are other ones that are really good, but those are the handful that are really overpowered. If I didn't name some, obviously, like let's say she's good, but I feel like she's more of a late game. She is okay if you to get her, don't get me wrong, she's in the rotation. She does give you crit rate and HP recovered, and gives you a shield that where you don't get debuffs, but it's not Adonis' shield. You can still take damage while you have this shield up. But I feel like the ones I've just named are the more overpowered ones if you get one of the Nat 5s. This guy is okay because of his leader skill as well. His leader skill actually reduces damage for you taken, which is why she's really overpowered as well, because she has a better leader skill for that. So yeah, so those are the ones you want to look for when it comes to rubies. What else? Like black market shop, trust me, I don't really buy these unless it's these keys, and maybe some arena keys here and there. I really don't usually spend anything on here, so please don't, unless you really want to get a hero. The heroes sometimes spawn on here, but like let's say the skilled Dragoon, you will get them. They come pretty quickly, especially early game. Time shop, I spent a lot on time shop, especially now that they give you a lot better stuff here. Okay, now if you are coming from another game, it is fairly confusing, especially if you're coming from another gacha game. You do not know where to farm, what to do. Here's what I want you to help you understand. Okay, you want to farm the scenarios. You do not have to farm the bosses, but you will eventually get to that point. Okay, so these you get, it shows you the orbs, right? The orbs are here. Obviously if you're starting, you're gonna start in normal, right? I think just slap on any orbs. You don't need to upgrade them to like plus 12 or anything like that. Plus 6 is fine. Just get them through here. Maybe in hard you start leveling them up a little bit more, plus 9, you know, somewhere around there. And then once you hit hell and nightmare, that's when it starts getting a bit more difficult. But like I said, if you cannot farm one, like the next following stage or something like that, you will it'd be best for you to just go back to that one, the other stage, and just farm that one a bit more. I think it will be much easier for you to just farm that certain, that's what I used to do. I used to just farm that certain slot and just wait for that one orb to pop up. Speaking of farming on here, you do see these 3 stars, right? And then it shows a little eye on the bottom. Stage Conquer effect. What is Stage Conquer effect? It basically helps you survive a lot more when you get all 3 stars. Now it is not necessary to get all 3 stars in one run. You can get 1 star in one run and you will still keep that 1 star, and then do the other stars following runs after that. So let's say this one, right? Clear the adventure, 1 star, right? So you will keep that star forever once you clear it. Clear in 3 minutes and 50 seconds. You do, like, literally, you do have to clear the adventure, but my point is that you don't need to get that 1 star. You already have it. So that 2nd star, beat it with 3 minutes and 50 seconds. The 3rd one, you can clear with it says at least 3 heroes at the same time. It does not have to be all 3 stars at the same time. So Conquer effect, what does that mean? Conquer effect means you do get damage, you don't take as much damage, and then on top of that it gives you a damage buff. It's not literally a buff, but it's built in your character, I guess you could say. So you'll be outputting more damage, taking less damage. So it's best to, if you're farming a level, it's best to get 3 stars, so you can actually get the proper orbs, and you're able to pass on to the next level. Of course, right here it will tell you the rewards, what you can possibly get, the statistics on what heroes are mostly used. This girl right here is actually one of the better 4-star healers. If you do get her, level her up. She's one of the best ones. She does a special attack, which means that like which means that she will convert normal attacks. So she's not doing the same just hit. No, she's gonna be doing quicker attacks, and on top of that, she will be life leeching. So she will be constantly healing as well. Okay, so she is one of the better 4-stars. I still am using her. I'm end game, I guess you can say. And those who know me, you're like, you're not end game. I sort of am, but I make that joke. But anyways, she's right here. I use her a lot because I use her in a strike skill. What is a strike skill? Speaking of, You will enter a dungeon with 3 characters. You will not enter with 4 unless you're going in, like let's say faction boss, which is an end game type of deal. That's really normally it. Yeah, I think that's the only dungeon that you can actually use all 4, or actually 5. I mean, so you're going with the first 3, right? This one, and that one. Those right there are the 3 that you actually run with. What is a strike skill? A strike skill basically, putting somebody in a striker position basically means that they will be using a certain skill on their skill set to help you basically not die. So let's say her, right? So she will eventually get to that point where basically when you land hits, that little circle will keep filling up. It's like a gauge, I guess you could say. And once it fills up, you'll be able to use a certain skill that is on her kit. You'll be able to see it. So see it now, it's ready, and it will heal. So that's her striking ability when you put her into strike position. They do, what's it called? When you put somebody in a striker position, they also have a leader skill. So you see on the bottom it says decreases damage taken by ally by 15%. You use 2 leader skills when it comes to having a striker in there. Yeah. So it's best to have it is best to look and see which ones have the best leader skills. Now, unfortunately, I'm not gonna say Nat 4s are horrible in this game because they are usable, but they do get overrun by Nat 5s. That's why I bring up a lot of Nat 5s. Let's go ahead and talk about, of course, Tower of Promises. This, you will eventually get up here and it's basically free gold. It's free gold, and like once you complete it, you get a whole bunch of different rewards according to the stage. So go ahead and clear. You do not have unlimited tries, so try to clear it as fast as possible, or use your keys as much as possible so you can reach the top quickly. Of course, if you're newer to this game, it's going to take a while. You're gonna have to farm orbs, get crests. If you do not know what crests are, crests actually, I know I'm probably speaking another language. Sometimes when it comes to like tutorial things, I'm always like lost when I'm first watching. I'm like, what does that even mean? And I wish I could simplify it any better. But crests basically, once you awaken them to the third, or no, I think it's the second. Once you awaken them, which is right here, you get awakening materials. Once you awaken them to a certain point, they open up these crests. What are crests is basically another rune, or sorry, another orb slot, or another how do I explain this? Like, I'd even explain orbs as well. Orbs basically up your stats when it comes to HP. There's no speed here, so no speed, HP, defense, crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, and these are the same, except it is a bit more different. The set bonuses are different, so like skill cooldown, that's what everybody normally goes for. It's grit. Resistance, not as much, but if they have awesome subsets, you want to go for that. Precision, status activation, which means if they land debuffs, they will more than likely land those debuffs when you have more status activation. Debuff duration is what it is. It is what it is. It lets the debuff that it lands the duration is longer. So yeah, so those are crests. Now, where do you farm crests? Crests are very delicate, okay? They're very gentle, okay? You have to farm them at the Giant's Dungeon, but it is limited amounts. You do every giant boss has a different weakness, so you can go ahead and enter here, and it will tell you helpful tip. It will like up there, it would say helpful tip. You click on there, it will say the Death Henge on the first floor is weak against decreased debuffs. So any debuffs practically, but it's easy to go for the first stage. But every stage has its what's it called? Has its weakness, and eventually you will get down here. But the whole point is you do get crest from here. These two are two different dungeons, so once you finish this one, you can farm this one as well. This one is a bit harder for you to do because you have to land more breakpoints. What are breakpoints, you say? Actually, speaking of, I didn't even mention that. Okay, so there are different types of skills. Okay, when it comes down to let's say her, right? So she, like, let's say there's break skills, which is this one, healing skills, damage skills, special attack skills, and what else? I think that really covers it. I think so. So let's talk about breaks. What are breakpoints? Basically, bosses, when I think they have a little tutorial in the beginning, but they do this little charging thing, and then they have a red circle. By the time that ticker goes, before it leaves, you have to land a break skill. What is a break skill? It is one. You can practically tell when it's red. Anything that has red is a break skill. So let's say this girl, right? This is a break skill as well. This guy, red, break skill as well. This guy, red, break skill. Anything that's red when it comes to the skills themselves means that they have a break skill. So that break skill, depending on how many it lands, because when you eventually get to the really higher, let's say nightmare, or the map scenario, or the giants, or faction boss, they will require a lot more break. So this girl, it says right there, breakpoint is 3. So she will do, she will decrease the amount of breakpoints by 3. So let's say, I know it's hard to understand if you're not part of the game completely yet. Let's go ahead and go here. Yeah, let's go here. This is where I farm generally, and this is actually the team I use for this. So I'm glad like the speed feature is actually here now. So these, basically the ones that are able to use these breakable skills, I guess you can say, are elite bosses or bosses themselves. So these are mini bosses. These are elite bosses. You see how they have a little mini red circle around them? The AI themselves know how to use it, so they will use it when they see that red marker, if you have a break skill at that point. So let's say this guy, right? Let's slow it down. You see he has 4 break skills, so this right here is not enough. But it is not, at the same time, it is not necessary for you to have all 4 if you break, if look, see right there, if you kill them fast enough. So if you want to make a team with like let's say 4 break skills, like example for this one, it is okay. But eventually when you start getting better at the game, you want to make a team like this, where you completely practically nuke it down. So that's one of the skills. Healing skills, just like hers, obviously they heal. There are different types of heal. Let's see, heal over time. There's actual heals where they fill you up to a certain percentage, I mean a certain part of your HP bar. There's, I think that is it, I believe, right? Yes. And then lifesteal, which not many heroes have them, or knights I should say. Not many knights have them, but lifesteal is basically where they hit and you leech health. So yeah, damage, complete damage skill. Or let's talk about this. Stun skills. Basically, they stun them for a certain amount. Same thing with charging. Same thing with I believe it's knock down and knock back and all that. They do the same thing. They, for a amount of time, they're knocked down. They basically cannot move. So yeah. So what else do I want to talk about? I think I'm going to make this an extended. I know Nezzy already did everybody did a freaking guide to this, so I'm like, oh crap, I'm late to it. But I feel like I covered a lot of it for the most part. Awakening dungeons, you really want to farm a lot of these. This one, the primal giant, a lot more than the others, mostly because you will be using a lot more of this one. Scissors paper, you will get different types of them, but this one will always be used for awakening, so any type of hero. So let's go ahead and summon. There's nothing I really need from this rotation, but you do get a natural 5-star here, so let's go ahead and just do it. I am tired, so I don't know how the heck I'm going to edit this video. It's going to be insane, but either way, look, it looks so beautiful too. It's going to be a Nat 5. I'm not going to overreact. Oh my gosh, Nat 5. I'm just kidding. No, but but I love getting Nat 5s. This is why the game is so generous. Just in case you did not know. Oh yeah, I forgot that they do this now. So in case you do not know, this game, the way I got drawn into this game is how generous it was. So yeah, so we get Cho here. She's not crazy. If you get her, don't prioritize her. She has some debuffs here and there, but they're not really insane. Bonia, I think this one's a good one where she bleeds and skill cooldown, which can be okay. If you get her, it's not too bad. You can prioritize her if you'd like. Soho, this guy was the MVP beginning game. If you do get this guy, he's and you don't have any other healers, I used to use this guy. He's going to be your best healer until you get a better one. So it will help you throughout the game. I feel like you shouldn't 6-star him. I would rather use 6-star Eve if you get her. Maybe 5-star him max, and he'll be good. I believe that's the best you can do. He's a good healer. Like, he gets defense buff and all that. So let's see what kind of Nat 5 we get. We're gonna probably get a dupe. Yeah, dupe. Rock Julian. Oh look, that's pretty cool. Okay, so it tells you the hero story and all that. So I already have Rock Julian, so it's it really wasn't a big deal for me. But either way, thank you very much for watching. This is an extremely late video. I will be covering other stuff hopefully later on. I feel like there's so much I want to cover, but I'm already 27 minutes into this video, so that's it for me for now. I'm going to try and edit as least as possible so I can just have this uploaded, finished, and we'll be done. If you have any questions, any concerns, put them in the comments down below. A lot of people in the community do help. We've been playing this game for a long time, so we will be glad to help. Anything you summoned, anything you think you don't know what's good and what's not, go ahead and leave a comment. We'll try to answer as much as possible. So anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Alright, peace.